Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on YouTube and Nationwide 90 FM Live too. RevoNews.ai and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
Coming up with the news at 6 this morning, Friday, December 5, 2025. Hurricane Melissa induced inflation set to drive food and commodities prices even higher. Maroon Chief
rejects the Prime Minister's offer to deploy JDF soldiers to help with the compound rebuilding. DBJ says it has already secured funding for the first $4 billion under its M5 business recovery program. In regional news, in TNT, woman pleads guilty to TikTok death threat against the Prime Minister. In international news, India travel chaos worsens as Indigo cancels hundreds of flights. In the sports report, hope leads Windies to recovery against the New Zealanders. And in business, Netflix in exclusive talks to buy Warner Bros. Discovery assets.
Every deposit you make with iSave is more than just saving money. It's a key to winning a brand new home. That's right. Every $25,000 you deposit into your iSave account is another chance to win big. Win quarterly cash prizes of $150,000 or the grand prize, a brand new home of your own. Keep saving every month and your entries keep growing just like your balance. And all entries stay in for the grand draw. Open your VM iSave account today. VM iSave is the key to your winning future. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Conditions apply.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Jamaicans should brace for an increase in the prices of food and commodities amid an expected rise in inflation induced by the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison gave an update on the country's fiscal outturn during Wednesday's meeting of Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC. Chevon Campbell tells us more.
Before Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica in October, Jamaica was well into a period of economic recovery. But Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison says the Category 5 system has caused a significant setback. That starts with inflation.
The medium-term fiscal profile presented in the interim fiscal policy paper reflects updated projections underpinned by the following revised macroeconomic assumptions. We have a table there just to point out that the real GDP growth, which was originally estimated at 2.2%, a positive 2.2% for this year, is now expected to come in at a deficit of 4.3%, a reduction of 4.3%. Inflation, previously projected at 5.3, is now expecting to be 9.5.
At the end of October, the country's point-to-point inflation rate was 2.9%. Inflation is a measure of the increase in the prices of goods. Ms. Morrison says government revenues will also take a hit.
Revenue and grants for 25-26 are currently projected to total $1,065.7 billion, which is 3.6% of GDP, representing a decline of $41.1 billion or 3.7% relative to the second supplementary estimates. Non-tax revenue totaling $191.1 billion reflects an increase of $41.7 billion, while tax revenue is projected to decline by $81.6 billion. Non-tax revenue is reflecting an increase, of course, because of the flows being received from the Hurricane Beryl instruments that have triggered the revenue ones.
But the financial secretary says over the medium term, there's an expectation that the economy will return to growing ways. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Siobhan. Maroon Chief Richard Curry says he's rejecting the offer by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to deploy soldiers from the Jamaica Defence Force JDF to assist with the rebuilding effort in Accompong, St. Elizabeth. Chief Curry made the announcement in a video posted to his social media pages on Thursday.
Following a deep, comprehensive internal review and a formal deliberation, the full Maroon Council has this time decided not to accept the offer on the militarization of the space during the recovery effort. The full Maroon Council instead has resolved to continue with the response, utilizing civilian resources from our joining communities and our partners, both locally and internationally, who have offered to the community their assistance in the recovery efforts.
During a tour of Accompong on Sunday, the Prime Minister announced that he was tasking the JDF with working to assist with the repair of infrastructure extensively damaged by the hurricane in the Maroon stronghold. Speaking directly to the Prime Minister, Chief Curry said he would accept the government's offer of building material to assist the Maroons with the rebuilding work in the historic community.
Instead, the Council would like to thank you for the offer on materials and would accept the offer on those materials and equipment necessary to assist in those recovery efforts. We want to ensure, Mr. Prime Minister, that harmony and inclusiveness of our Maroon human resources, of those here in Accompong and adjoining communities, are balanced to execute the infrastructural relief efforts across our Maroon communities. This methodology aligns with our laws and cultural way of life.
Richard Curry, Chief of the Accompong Maroons. By the end of next week, about 60% of JPS customers in St. James should have their power restored. That's the word from the Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon. Mayor Vernon gave an update to journalists on Wednesday following the final meeting of the St. James Emergency Operations Center. Abigail Barkley reports.
According to Mayor Vernon, the damage to the Jamaica Public Service JPS grid in St. James was extensive. He noted that JPS is working to restore about 60% of the parish's electricity in short order.
To date, we are at 55%, a bit over a month later, and I trust that by next week we'll be trending into the 60%. But some major lines, based on what we have seen, the connection of the Bogue area, the Bogue facility, to the Long Hill Anchovy area, leading into St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, that's a major one, and we provided some assistance to the Jamaica Public Service Company last week in cordoning off a section of the Long Hill area. Much of this will happen in other sections across St. James as they move to restore electricity.
Vernon says as such, electricity may not be restored for some communities until next year.
Based on the information that I've ascertained, it is quite evident that many of the communities will receive electricity within 2 to 3 weeks, but a significant portion of them won't receive electricity until January 2026. The team is being supported by a raft of operators coming in from overseas. It is necessary to place those persons who are coming in as support because they won't be here forever. You have to put them at a location that you believe is key, where you definitely need the support now, so when they leave, the local team can take it on from there.
He says the Light and Power Company has committed to restoring power to the major National Water Commission NWC pump houses in short order.
Much of what the National Water Commission needs is to get the energy in their section so that they can supply water. JPS is committed to ensuring that the pump houses are restored with power so that they can supply water to the needed areas. I got a call this morning even from Irwindale, Orange, the entire San Erin block that they need electricity, they need water. And much work needs to be done along the San Erin Main Road to ensure that power can reach to the service station there for the National Water Commission.
Mayor Vernon is urging residents in the parish to remain patient as the restoration efforts continue. Abigail Bartley for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Abigail. Meanwhile, Mayor Vernon estimates that about 100,000 residents in St. James have received care packages since the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
The number of packages that we are distributing thus far is significant, over 100,000 packages. When you look at the number of persons who we have in our population, based on starting approximately 200,000 people, therefore the packages represent half of that population. Not to say that half of the population received, because there are cases where many persons have received more than once, and that is in line with what the requirements are for many of the communities that have been badly damaged, because some packages would serve 2 or 3 days. So if they receive more than once, it also means that they are able to get sustenance over an extended period of time.
According to Mayor Vernon, greater focus will be placed on persons with disabilities, senior citizens, and persons experiencing homelessness. He says the shelter population in the parish is decreasing.
We also look at the situation pertaining to our children in shelter, where we're doing an investigation to ensure that they're in school, that they need the necessary care, and where possible, make recommendation to relevant authority to take up the matter in hand. If it needs to go to the CDA, if it needs to go to the Ministry of Education, we're looking at that. So we continue to monitor those numbers because they're fluctuating. We're moving from 400, and up to last week we were at 163 in shelter, and now we're at 139.
Richard Vernon, Mayor of Montego Bay. Managing Director of the Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ, Dr. David Lowe, says the bank has already secured funding for the first $4 billion under its $10 billion M5 Business Recovery Program. The program is designed to support sectors disrupted by the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday, Dr. Lowe outlined how the DBJ arrived at the initial $4 billion allocation.
I want to say clearly that we have put $1 billion in, and we're processing loans with our partners in the commercial banking sector. So the program is funded, because unfortunate headline, and I do think it's unfortunate, is that it would have suggested that this is a program that was just noise and not funded. But in fact, funding has started, and funding is now being reached to beneficiaries. $3 billion was approved by Cabinet, and we anticipate, as it was informed, to have that within the first quarter of 2026, and that quarter is January to March, and that would buffer the support that we have in terms of the $1 billion that is already in place.
Dr. Lowe says at no time did the DBJ ever indicate that the government would provide the full $10 billion upfront. He explained that the program's framework is based on a multi-year resilience strategy, with funding expected to roll out in phases. Questions about financing emerged during Wednesday's sitting of Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee. At the meeting, Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison said no funds for the program were included in the third supplementary estimates. The issue was later clarified by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Arlene Williams. Dr. Lowe declined to address the Financial Secretary's initial comments, but emphasized that the DBJ maintains a positive working relationship with the Ministry of Finance.
I think it would be improper for me to speak as to what the effort said. To be frank, we have a wonderful relationship with the Ministry of Finance. I can't comment on what was said, and I think it's probably just appropriate for me to say, as of now, we have $1 billion in place with $3 billion approved by Cabinet, and that's the number that we're working with. And I just think it's, again, a little unfortunate that probably the way in which things have been communicated adds a little bit of, confusion, or perhaps, the feeling that this is an unfunded program. And that's the main takeaway I want to have here.
Meanwhile, Dr. Lowe says the source of the remaining $6 billion will be finalized over time.
What happens in subsequent fiscal years means that we just have to support it with an updated cabinet submission, and that takes place at a future time. But at this point, what we're working with is $4 billion to work through the next couple of months to be able to have a fast track to get those done. We will then consider a subsequent submission to update the framework, because again, we estimated the framework would cost $10 billion over time. Within the context of the framework, we fund different phases. As more information becomes available, we do that. We don't expect the government of Jamaica to write all of that right up front to place on our balance sheet. What we expect is that we show a continuum, show a set of objectives, measurable impact, and how we have targeted intervention is within the scope of that $10 billion.
Dr. David Lowe, Managing Director of the Development Bank of Jamaica, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday. 2 men have been charged with the murder of 2 policemen on Waltham Park Road in St. Andrew last month. They are Junior Brown and Macarius Monroe, otherwise called Mackie. Both men have been charged with 2 counts of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, possession of prohibited ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. The men were charged on Thursday after they were placed on multiple ID parades. Their court date is being finalized. The policemen killed were Constable Charles Stewart, otherwise called Stewie, and Constable Jamari Gordon. Constable Stewart was assigned to the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, while Constable Gordon was attached to the Spanish Town Police. Both lawmen were shot and killed while attempting to resolve a dispute concerning a stolen motor vehicle. The constables were off duty at the time. Efforts are underway to ensure that JPS customers affected by Hurricane Melissa are treated fairly on their December bills. The Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, sought to give the assurance at Wednesday's sitting of the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee. Anchad Hewitt is Director General of the OUR.
Yes, the OUR can offer that assurance that we will in fact verify that customers are not charged where there is zero consumption. That is not as cut and dried, so we're in discussion with JPS about that as well.
About 20% of JPS customers remain without power 4 weeks after Hurricane Melissa. The Light and Power Company had warned customers to brace for increases in their bills after the weather event. Consumer Affairs Policy Specialist at the OUR, Colette Good, explained the considerations that will determine the final bill.
They would have prorated the estimated consumption based on the number of days of loss of service. What we also need to bear in mind is the bill that would have been received in November would have taken into consideration most of October's usage. If since October 28th you were without service for up to 8 days, for example, and they have to estimate your consumption, then they would bill you for, say, 80% of your previous consumption.
That's Colette Good from the OUR. We break and come back with regional news.
Benjamin's is flavoring the holidays. Shop, scan, and win your share of over 1.5 million in prizes. Bake it, cook it, mix it. Benjamin's will flavor it. The time by Benjamin's Flavor the Holidays promotion is
6:17.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
To regional news now. Law enforcement officials in Cuba say the island is prioritizing the fight against narcotics trafficking in the Caribbean. They say as well that the country continues to provide information to the U.S. Coast Guard. The comments come amid escalating tension and a surging U.S. military presence in the region. Cuba and the United States agreed in 2017 to cooperate in the fight against drug trafficking. But Chief of Cuba's border guard, Colonel Ibe Carballo, told reporters in Havana that formal engagement between the two longtime rivals had ended under the second administration of Donald Trump. Carballo says Cuba nonetheless routinely provides the U.S. Coast Guard with intelligence on vessels suspected of trafficking drugs near its waters. He insists Cuba is not a black hole in the fight against drug trafficking. Further afield, Germany's parliament has approved a controversial new military service law that aims to boost numbers and meet NATO targets as tensions with Russia spur calls for stronger defense capabilities across Europe. The legislation, backed by months of heated debate, introduces a dual-track system. A more lucrative voluntary service is intended to attract young recruits, but if enlistment falls short, lawmakers can activate needs-based conscription. This would require a separate Bundestag vote and could involve random selection if more are eligible than needed. The Defense Ministry will report recruitment figures to Parliament every 6 months. In a move not seen since conscription was suspended in 2011, all men born after January 1, 2008 will undergo medical evaluation phased in as capacity allows. Both 18-year-old men and women will receive requests to declare willingness to serve, though only men must respond. India's largest airline, Indigo, cancelled hundreds of scheduled flights on Friday after 3 days of widespread disruption across its network. The carrier, which has a 60% market share in India and flies more than 2,000 flights daily, has been facing pilot shortages after it failed to adapt to new crew rostering rules. Thousands of passengers are stranded across India in what's a busy travel season, with all Indigo flights from the capital Delhi cancelled. Indigo says operations will return to normal by February 10. The airline says it has sought temporary relief on the new rules that call for more rest hours and restricted night duty. It says it will reduce flight operations to minimize disruptions from December 8.
The Answer Select Your Discount Sale. Up to 50% off when you select your discount at Answers Gifts and Home and Answers for Children. Select your discount sale at Answers now until Sunday, December 14, 2025.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Time now for sport. White ball captain Shea Hope was leading a West Indies fight back at the close of day 4 of the first test against New Zealand in Christchurch. Hope was unbeaten on 116 as the Windies reached 212 for 4 when stumps were drawn, still 319 runs shy of an improbable victory. Hope was so far stroked 15 fours and 1 6, starred in an unbroken 4-wicket stand of 140 with fellow Bajan Justin Graves, who's unbeaten on 55. Jamaica's John Campbell was dismissed for 15. Scores in the match: New Zealand 231 and 466 for 8 declared, West Indies 167 and 212 for 4. The Jamaica Football Federation has announced a comprehensive slate of coaching appointments and adjustments across its youth national teams, signaling a renewed focus on continuity, development, and competitive success at all age levels. Former Reggae Boys captain Rodolphe Austin, who has served as assistant coach of the under-20s since 2023, has been elevated to head coach. Veteran coach Wendell Downswell will serve as his assistant. On the women's side, Learcroft Letman will continue in his role as head coach of the under-20 women's team, supported by Tamira Williams, whose influence continues to grow within the JFF's youth program. Williams, who recently guided Jamaica to a semi-final berth in the CFU Girls Under-14 Challenge Series in Trinidad and Tobago, will remain head coach of that unit and also take charge of the National Girls Under-15 squad. Former Reggae Girls defender Sashana Pete Campbell, a member of the historic squad at the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup in France, will serve as Williams' assistant at the Under-15 level. Campbell will also assume duties as his assistant coach of the Under-17 girls team, working alongside head coach Marlon Hilton. In a significant assignment, Wendell Downswell, who has previously been part of Jamaica's technical staff at the FIFA Under-17 World Cups in 1999 and 2011 and the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in 2001, has been named head coach of the national Under-17 men's team. He'll be assisted by Vassal Reynolds, Carlton Simmons, and Altamont Freddie Butler. The men's Under-15 program will continue under head coach Andrew Peart, who led Jamaica to the CFU Boys Under-14 Challenge Series title in 2024 and the CONCACAF Boys Under-15 Championship League B title in 2025. Peart will again be supported by Vassal Reynolds. Reynolds will also take the helm of the Under-14 boys team, where he'll be assisted by Lewin Purser. All eyes will be on Washington, D.C. later on this Friday when football's world governing body FIFA hosts the draw for next year's FIFA World Cup finals, to be jointly hosted by the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. A star-studded cast of American and other global sports and entertainment personalities will feature in what's expected to be a glitzy affair at the Kennedy Center starting at 11 a.m. Jamaica time. Comedian Kevin Hart, model Heidi Klum, and actor Danny Ramirez will host the draw. Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, Wayne Gretzky, Aaron Judge, and Rio Ferdinand will act as draw assistants. The White House has confirmed President Donald Trump will be in attendance. 48 nations, the most in World Cup history, will compete for the game's biggest prize at next year's blockbuster event. However, only 42 confirmed names will be in the draw, as the other 6 qualifiers will be decided next March in Interconfederation playoffs. Jamaica will end the year as the world number 3 ranked netball team, and with it one of 6 automatic spots at the next Netball World Cup in Australia set for 2027. The latest rankings were released on Thursday. The rankings take into account all results up to December 1. Australia remained number 1, New Zealand 2, England 4, South Africa 5, and surprise package Uganda complete the top 6. Uganda's return to the top 6 comes after a standout performance at the Celtic Cup, where they beat Wales 70-48 on the final day and went the entire tournament unbeaten. As a result of that defeat, Wales dropped to 7th in the world rankings. 5 regional qualifiers will be held in 2026 to determine the remaining 10 teams for the 2027 World Cup, which runs from August 25 to September 5 in Sydney. The top 2 from each qualifier will earn their invitation. Guadeloupe entered the rankings at joint 50th and Bermuda debut at 20th after both nations met the minimum 8-match requirement. That's the sports.
The Sagicor Bank Biz Fair is back. 2 days of super deals. Kingston Biz Fair. Come shop Christmas gifts and more. Thursday, December 11, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sagicor Bank Parking Lot, 17 Dominica Drive. Montego Bay Biz Fair. Let's help SMEs rebuild as you shop for Christmas. Saturday, December 13, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Harmony Beach Park. Use your Sagicor Bank MasterCard for exclusive discounts all day. Hardware supplies, household items, solar products, and so much more. Powered by MasterCard.
Now to business news. Netflix is seeking to buy Warner Brothers Discovery's film and television studios along with its streaming assets. Quoting a source with direct knowledge of the matter, Reuters says Netflix has offered $28 per share for the bundle. The offer compares with Warner Brothers' closing price of $24.54 on Thursday and a previous offer from Paramount of nearly $24 for all of the company's assets, which also include cable networks CNN, TNT, and TBS. Netflix and Warner Bros. Discovery did not immediately respond to Reuters' requests for comment. Netflix is aggressively diversifying beyond its core subscription model to drive new revenue streams. A deal with Warner Brothers, whose franchises include Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and DC Comics, would transform the streaming service into a vertically integrated media powerhouse, giving it one of Hollywood's most valuable libraries. The Bank of Canada is set to hold its overnight rate on December 10. This is according to a pool of economists polled by Reuters, the majority of whom predicted steady rates at least until 2027. The economists in the December 2 to 5 poll say the Bank of Canada will keep the rate steady at 2.25% next week, in line with market pricing. With inflation easing and firmly within the central bank's target range and the economy growing at a robust pace, the need for further rate cuts has reduced significantly. Canadian home sales also regained momentum in October, suggesting low borrowing costs are helping the interest rate sensitive house market though further help from the central bank will be limited. And in foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar will open against the benchmark U.S. currency selling for an average $161.20. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican will open trading at an average $113.75. And finally, the Jamaican dollar will begin selling for an average $214.36 against the British pound. That's business this morning.
King. Holla me, holla yo, holla way. Follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. Hata afa we say new cheesy jalapeno whopper make we talk in a gypsy. Well a pot, me I forget the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper. Whole heap of spicy jalapenos and creamy cheese sauce. Get the combo with fries and drinks for $1,350. Holla me, holla yo, holla way. Follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. It's the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper from Burger King.
Interesting. Were you aware of Athena Care? One of Jamaica's most trusted full-service medical concierge. They provide compassionate, high-quality care for your loved ones. Hold on. There's more. They provide registered nurses, dietitians, psychotherapists, doctors, social workers, and the best guidance support possible. Give them a call now. 876-442-2428. Athena Care, your concern is our concern, and we take care of what matters most. Athena Care. We do care.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
I'm working all week long. I dream of I'm shaking up my plane, and I get back. I'm saving all my soul and all my pain, so I can lose control on Saturday. I'm gonna blow it all away. I can't wait for the weekend to begin.
Good morning, listeners, viewers. Welcome to the Nationwide This Morning crew. I'm Siobhan Campbell.
And I'm Said Bernard. Top of the morning to your listeners or viewers, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, boiling tea, brewing coffee, or you're already on the roads, bringing your children to school, or, just going to work. Top of the morning to you. It is a Friday, the best day of the work week, not the entire week, just the work week, the best day of the work week. And, we're here with you to wrap it out. So how you do, Siobhan?
I'm doing all right. As in, you two said too early for Christmas morning.
No, it's not.
Christmas
It's
music.
never too early for Christmas music. I wanted to play Christmas music from in November. But, we finally get it, and I'm very, very happy for it. It just brings a relaxing mind when you listen to Christmas carols. I don't know, but I've started listening to Christmas carols. I'm driving in the middle of the day, I'm listening to Christmas carols. It's the season to be jolly.
Yeah, like early now, like.
No, it's never too
just
early.
a couple days into December.
Nah.
Say that till about.
Nope.
15.
From November 15, Christmas carols to start play. You don't realize a lot of places have the Christmas lights and all of that already.
Oh, I know. My Christmas tree has been up.
See, so what you're waiting on to?
But my Christmas tree has been up since 5 years now.
Oh,
it just never went down.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm not taking nothing down.
You dust the Christmas tree at least. You take off the dust off it. Yeah.
That Christmas tree has been in the corner for 5 years. Just plug it back in and good to go again.
No man, Siobhan, you deserve to be arrested and charged for that. Nah, you need for the better. Take down the Christmas tree January thereabout, and then put it back up.
That's a lot of work, It's so much work.
Isn't that a part of the whole idea of Christmas, though? putting up the trees, getting new decoration, putting up the decoration, listening to Christmas carols while you're doing that. Isn't that the whole idea of it?
I suppose if you're in a family setting. But when it's just you, does it really accord that level of ritual?
Fair. Well, I guess you know what you need to do then.
Because if I take that tree down, it's not going back up. It was like you're just going to stay down.
I hear you, Shepard. I hear you. Well, 5 years ago, I'm pretty sure those decorations need some, changing.
It's still glowing and it's nice and pretty.
I doubt it is glowing. I'd have to see evidence of that, Shepard. Highly doubt it is glowing. After 5 years? Nah. At that point, that tree now has a common law relationship with your house. It's been living in your house for 5 years undisturbed.
It's been in the house as long as I have. It went to... Yes, I moved to that property in... I believe it was the December of 2020. And it has been up since then.
Nah. That's crazy. No, that's absolutely crazy.
I bet you I am not the only person who has just left a Christmas.
I am pretty sure
at least a Christmas decoration just up all year round.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people do that. It's just that I couldn't do that. First of all, I don't want it in my space for so long. I have to take it down. It can't be in my space for so long. Not at all. But just the season to be jolly. So however you celebrate it, Siobhan, as long as you enjoy it.
She's had hers up for a year. Too much hard work to take it down.
Well, I hear, but that's not so bad. But 5 years, that's a whole different ball game, Siobhan. But if you say so.
Christopher, mine is up 6 years. It's in the middle of the lawn, just decorating each year. See?
Mine is up 6 in the middle of the lawn. Oh, so it's outside. So that's a real tree then. Yeah, that's different. That's a tree living in its natural habitat, which is outside, where the roots are there and it's being fed the water and the sunlight and all of that. And then I imagine we'll probably just throw some decoration on it when Christmas time comes. Yeah, that's different, Siobhan.
I might refresh the decorations for probably next year.
Please. No, I mean, it's not too late to refresh it. It's December 5. You can refresh it by December 15.
It's
right in time for Christmas.
It's working. Maybe need a new star at the top or a new thing at the top. But I think it's fine. I mean, you plug it in, it sparkles, the lights turn red, green, and all those colors. It's quite fine where it is. Thing is though, I've never liked that tree.
So if you don't, hold on, you don't like the tree. You don't like the tree, but the tree is up in your yard for 5 years.
Yes, my mother put it up and it just never went back down.
You're a patient man.
It never went back down.
Cause if me not like the tree, me I dash it away. Let's never get a new one. But you're a patient man. You're a patient man. You don't like the tree, but you have it up in there for 5 years.
I can't take down the decoration that my mother put up.
Why not?
It just feels irreverent.
Then make sure come and put up a new set.
I might actually have to turn to that to them.
Yeah, see?
Because a lot of things don't change unless my mother changes them when she comes over. I just don't like, let's leave them be. Just leave it be. Why change it?
I hear you. Could have done that though, but kudos to you.
So kudos I wonder how many people in YouTube are now in the Christmas spirit, really? Are we in the Christmas spirit? I don't feel like there's much Christmassy going around. Like in my neighborhood, I don't see much people getting into the spirit of things. How about you, Saeed?
Other than the plazas that I say have the Christmas lights, that's about it. I'm always in the Christmas spirit. From November come, I'm like, yes, it's close to Christmas. Time to get a break, time to get some rest. Rejuvenate. It's just a very nice season. So yeah, I like Christmas. I like it. I don't care what nobody has to say. I love Christmas, actually. And you watch the same Christmas shows, no matter how many times you watch it before. It's like a tradition. No matter how corny the Christmas shows are, you just sit down and watch them. And I love to drink hot chocolate during Christmas season as well. I drink hot chocolate year round, but during Christmas season, yeah man, round the clock, I have a mug in my hand. Just drinking hot chocolate.
Most of my Christmases are spent out of town back in Sangster Heights with the grandmother, the grandfather, everybody eating curry goat, fried chicken.
Nice.
I think only last year was the only time that I spent Christmas here in Kingston.
Okay, and how was it?
Boring.
It was boring?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you miss your relatives ever so often. I don't see my grandmother. I think she's going on almost 90 years now.
Wow.
Bless her. I don't see her as regularly as I want to because she technically lives overseas in the United States and she comes down during the Christmas period. So I'm looking forward. Hopefully she comes down this Christmas so we can continue the tradition.
Okay. That's nice. I mean, I usually spend it in Kingston. But it's just, again, just merriments, really. It's no big deal to it. Just merriments. But most of all, I get to rest. So yeah, kudos. I hope everyone is, gearing up for a wonderful Christmas season. And of course, don't forget our people out west. A lot of the beauty about this Christmas season is a lot of persons I see are making plans to go down west to do things for children. Yesterday we did an interview at Michael University. They plan to, get some toys and some gifts to bring smiles on the faces of children. There are other people planning to go down there to, provide meals and, spend time with the people down there to bring some joy to them. And of course, that's also the beauty about the Christmas season. You get that opportunity to share your blessing and your love with others around you. So, even for those out west, I really pray and hope that they feel some joy out of the Christmas season as well. It is hard, but, we have to try our best.
It makes a good moment in time where you can forget your troubles and just enjoy the day and the spirit of the season. So I agree with you, Saeed. Even for those in the West where things are difficult, hopefully we can bring some relief and general merriment for them in this difficult period of time so that they can get through it.
Yes. Well, you don't have any what's on your mind today, no heavy ones?
No, not today. Let's keep it in the spirit of the season and just have a nice light day. Let's not keep anything too heavy in terms of the normal news and current affairs cycle today. It's a Friday. Let's just keep in the spirit of the Friday, Saeed.
Yeah, but we have some good news coming up on the front page that we'll get to explore. So just stick and stay with us. We're going to give you your what's on your mind, your street smarts, and of course your word of the day, your features. And after the news, we certainly get into the front page where we'll be delving into some economic issues. We take the break right now and we come back with Street Smart.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 6:46.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life. Savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The Temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is...
It's 26 degrees Celsius here in the capital city, Kingston, 25 out west in Montego Bay, and a chilly 19 degrees in Mandeville.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
We in this together, hands on heart, spread side. We in this together, rebuilding homes and lives, no matter the weather. You are not alone.
Sagicor is contributing over $200 million to Jamaica's Hurricane Melissa recovery. We're also standing by our clients. If you're a client in need of support, call 888-SAGICOR.
That's right, listeners. It's time for Street Smart and your first morning traffic bulletin from Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning, Siobhan. Good morning, time to you, sir. Morning, Council. Good morning.
Morning, Ludlow.
Right. So all our listeners and we have so much keen listeners and so many, and a lot of well wishers, and we just want to say thanks for tuning in to Nationwide. But at this time of the morning, it's a Friday morning, and I detect a slight difference in terms of the vehicular flow, in that you're able to move much freer at this time. Depending on where you are, though, but I can tell you for much of Reddy's Road coming down Reddy's Road, it's flowing steadily all the way down to the foot there, right where you have that overpass there. Then you go on to Eastwood Park Road from there. And Compton Spring Road, it is also flowing, but remember now it's building while it's flowing a few minutes back, and then it changes. Compton Spring Road and coming from as far as Manapik Park Road, you're going on to Olivia Road. It's a steady flow all the way down to Shortwood Road, but at the intersection of Shortwood and Compton Spring Road, you'll have a build up there. And Waterloo, it's so tricky. This minute it's okay, and then in a few minutes it's really get heavy, but right now it's building, and as they get closer to the intersection of Waterloo Hope Road, it's going to be some traffic there, and also Hope Road in both directions quite active until you get into the Half Tree Square area, where it's much heavier at this point in time. All the other areas are running steadily, and remember there are certain areas that is inevitable. So if you're on Spanish Town Road now, coming from 6-5, you will have traffic, especially going towards the 3 miles area and along Boulevard. But there are gaps there, so it's going to fill during the course of the morning. So until it's 7:20, it's back to you in the studios.
Thank you for that, Ludlow. Your word of the day is next, listeners. So, listeners, your word of the day, this is an interesting one, is P-A-R-S-I-M-O-N-Y. That's P-A-R-S-I-M-O-N-Y.
Parsimony. Parsimony. Parsimony.
That's right, listeners. The word of the day is parsimony. It's a noun. It means extreme or excessive economy or frugality, stinginess, or miserliness. The word's origin, it was first recorded in the 1400s to 1450s. The late Middle English parsimony, from the Latin parsimonia or parsimonio, frugality, thrift, equivalent to parsi, combining from form of parsus, past participle of parseer, to economize, or parsi, combining the form of parsus, sparing, to monia, or money. An example sentence is, England's defensive parsimony is allied with the attacking potency they have scored in 19 matches in a row for the first time in more than a century. That's from the BBC. Another one is, or perhaps Goya is taking a small liberty presenting parsimony in a slight juxtaposition to all that flashy gold embroidery, royal hardware, and silk. That's from the Los Angeles Times. So your word of the day, listeners, is parsimony. It means extreme or excessive economy, or frugality, stinginess, or miserliness. I suppose nobody wants to practice any parsimony during the Yuletide season. Saeed, you want to be of a giving mind and of a giving heart?
Yeah, but don't get in debt though for it. Happy birthday.
Isn't Christmas a time to kind of get into a little debt?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, Siobhan. But I'm told reliably and I've made some checks. It is the birthday, Siobhan, of Prime Minister, the 8th Prime Minister of Jamaica, I believe he was, Bruce Golding, Orect Bruce Golding, born on the 5th of December 1947. He is 77 years old today. Happy birthday to you, former Prime Minister Bruce Golding. Brilliant Prime Minister he was. Still has a brilliant mind, especially when it comes to matters of governance, etc. And you could go on and on as to his vision and ideas and his philosophy on governance in Jamaica. Brilliant, excellent guy. And of course, he has been taking his tours, doing election observation across several Caribbean territories, and of course have been involved in CARICOM. So happy birthday to you, former Prime Minister Orect Bruce Golding. Yeah, the man from Chapelton. Happy birthday.
I did not know that Bruce Golding was from Chapelton.
Yes. He was born there.
Oh, so we come from the same ends. That's nice to know.
Oh, really? The same ends?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sang Society is in Chapelton.
Oh. Okay.
I second that, Saeed. Bruce Golding, definitely one of the more cerebral prime ministers we've had. A very idealistic, forward-thinking vision for government and what it means to govern a country in terms of human rights and just the general accountability and governance in Jamaica. A lot of the things he put forward were quite ahead of their time. I don't know if the country was ready for them at the time, but they really brought us into the modern age. The chief among them, the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms. I know it, in terms of the idea of it, predates him, but he was the one who finally brought it through to the finish line. So happy birthday
of course,
to you, Mr. Golding.
Opposition members, chairing committees of parliament. That was his brainchild as well, that he ensured was implemented. But chief of all, Siobhan, I would say, chief of all, is that he is an old boy of St. George's College. Chief of all. Can't go any further without saying that. He's an old boy of St. George's College, the school on North Street where gentlemen are grown. Yeah.
As a Woolmerian, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that sentiment.
You wouldn't agree because you weren't on North Street, so you wouldn't understand. But certainly you cannot deny that, Siobhan, that as a Georgian, he's a gentleman, and he has lived up to that. Yes?
I'll agree that he's a gentleman.
Exactly. So if you agree that he's a gentleman, and I'm telling you how he became a gentleman, then what are you
suggesting that the origin of that is from North Street? I'm just saying he was definitely a gentleman. It's time for your features and then the news at 7.
Making friends is a vital part of growing up and an important part of a child's social and emotional development. In Parenting Tips today, tips to help your child make friends. Friendships help kids build self-esteem and confidence. To be a good friend, children need to know how to understand other people's viewpoints and emotion, be sympathetic, how to be supportive, a good listener, non-judgmental, apologetic, forgiving, and trustworthy. Healthy friendships also teach important life skills, such as how to collaborate with others. Begin by taking the time to observe and understand how your child socializes. Attend a few activities at school, such as sports day, fun days, after-school activities, and pay close attention to how your child interacts with others. Do they behave differently than their norm at home? Your child may have a tough time starting conversations. Address your child's anxieties and fear of rejection. It's common for anxiety to play a role in children's social difficulties. Children who have a harder time initiating or maintaining friendships may have had negative experiences in social situations, and in many cases have already begun to expect to be rejected. The good news is that this anxiety can be addressed in a number of ways. Use role-playing to practice having conversation. Try play acting through different scenarios to help your child see that they can handle any outcome that emerges. Teach them deep breathing to manage anxiety in the moment. The most important step to helping your child get over their fear of social situations is to provide them with opportunities to have positive social interactions. The positive outcomes will ultimately dispel fear. They may have anxiety in large groups or a fear of public speaking, and that keeps them from engaging meaningfully with other children. Do they prefer to keep to themselves and observe instead of joining in? Depending on what behavior you see, you can then decide where to focus your attention, what skills need building, and how you can contribute. Perhaps they feel nervous about introducing themselves to children at school. Maybe they want to go up to the other children, but are nervous about how they might be received. Model positive social behavior. Children learn by example, so be mindful of how you interact with others. Every time you start a conversation with friends, the neighbors, or your coworker, your child is aware. Almost every scenario shown becomes a learning opportunity, allowing your child to see how you join in, conversate. Almost every scenario shown becomes a learning opportunity, allowing your child to see how you join in, converse, and even problem solve. Reinforce and praise. Make it exciting and rewarding to practice trying new things. Even when your child is making slow progress, make sure to reinforce their efforts. Acknowledge each small success and let them know how proud you are that they kept trying. A true friend accepts who you are, but also helps you become who you should be. That's it for Parenting Tips today.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Self-defense and safety walks hand in hand. There's simple techniques you can learn that will help you defend yourself. Hi, I'm Tana, and these are your lifestyle pages. Most predators will attack from behind. Don't panic. Remain calm and try one or more of the following. Deflect the hold. Press his forearm against your collarbone instead of trying to pull it directly off. Put one hand above his elbow and one below it. Then, in one strong and determined movement, step and swing your entire body around. Slide to the ground, drop your hips quickly, and let your body go limp. This will surprise your attacker and give you an extra moment to fend them off. You can also stomp on their shin, then reposition yourself for frontal defense. Be safe on the road. I'm Tana, and those were your lifestyle pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
From the ground up, let's rebuild stronger, safer, better than before. National Supply, powering Jamaica's comeback. The temperature by National Supply is...
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 today, Friday, December 5, 2025, Hurricane Melissa induced inflation set to drive food and commodities prices even higher. Maroon Chief rejects the Prime Minister's offer to deploy JDF to help with a compound rebuilding. DBJ says it has already secured funding for the first $4 billion of its M5 Business Recovery Program. And in international news, India travel chaos worsens as Indigo cancels hundreds of flights.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Jamaicans should brace for an increase in the price of food and commodities amid an expected rise in inflation induced by the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison gave an update on the country's fiscal outturn during Wednesday's meeting of Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC. Chevron Campbell tells us more.
Before Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica in October, Jamaica was well into a period of economic recovery. But Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison says the Category 5 system has caused a significant setback. That starts with inflation.
The medium-term fiscal profile presented in the interim fiscal policy paper reflects updated projections underpinned by the following revised macroeconomic assumptions. We have a table there just to point out that the real GDP growth, which was originally estimated at 2.2%, a positive 2.2% for this year, is now expected to come in at a deficit of 4.3%. A reduction of 4.3%. Inflation, previously projected at 5.3, is now expecting to be 9.5.
At the end of October, the country's point-to-point inflation rate was 2.9%. Inflation is a measure of the increase in the prices of goods. Ms. Morrison says government revenues will also take a hit.
Revenue and grants for 25-26 are currently projected to total $1,065.7 billion, which is 3.6% of GDP, representing a decline of $41.1 billion or 3.7% relative to the second supplementary estimates. Non-tax revenue totaling $191.1 billion reflects an increase of $41.7 billion, while tax revenue is projected to decline by $81.6 billion. Non-tax revenue is reflecting an increase, of course, because of the flows being received from the Hurricane Beryl instruments that have triggered the revenue ones.
But the financial secretary says over the medium term, there's an expectation that the economy will return to growing ways.
Growth is projected for revenue and grants over the medium term, reflecting continued recovery in the economy. Over the next 3 years, which would be 26-27 through 28-29, inflows from revenue and grants are projected to average 28.6% of GDP and grow at an annual average of 4%. This performance is expected to be driven mainly by tax revenue, with a projected annual average of 26% of GDP. Total expenditure, above the line expenditure, has been revised to $1.1 trillion, $1.189 trillion, which is 34.1% of GDP for fiscal year 25-26, reflecting an increase of $83.4 billion or 7.6% relative to the second supplementary estimates.
Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Maroon Chief Richard Curry says he's rejecting the offer by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to deploy soldiers from the Jamaica Defence Force, JDF, to assist with the rebuilding effort in Accompong, St. Elizabeth. Curry made the announcement in a video posted to his social media accounts on Thursday.
Following a deep, comprehensive internal review and a formal deliberation, the full Maroon Council has this time decided not to accept the offer on the militarization of the space during the recovery effort. The full Maroon Council instead has resolved to continue with the response, utilizing civilian resources from our joining communities and our partners, both locally and internationally, who have offered to the community their assistance in the recovery efforts.
The Prime Minister extended the offer during a tour of the historic community on Sunday, but on Thursday, Curry said he would only accept the offer of materials and equipment.
Instead, the Council would like to thank you for the offer and materials and would accept the offer on those materials and equipment necessary to assist in those recovery efforts. We want to ensure, Mr. Prime Minister, that harmony and inclusiveness of our Maroon human resources, of those here in Accompong and adjoining communities, are balanced to execute the infrastructural relief efforts across our Maroon communities. This methodology aligns with our laws and cultural way of life.
Richard Curry, Chief of the Accompong Maroons. By the end of next week, about 60% of JPS customers in St. James should have their power restored. That's the word from Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon. Mayor Vernon gave an update to journalists on Wednesday following the final meeting of the St. James Emergency Operations Center. Abigail Bartley reports.
According to Mayor Vernon, the damage to the Jamaica Public Service JPS grid in St. James was extensive. He noted that JPS is working to restore about 60% of the parish's electricity in short order.
To date, we are at 55%, a bit over a month later, and I trust that by next week we'll be trending into the 60%. But some major lines, based on what we have seen, the connection of the Bogue area, the Bogue facility, to the Long Hill Antropy area, leading into St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, that's a major one, and we provided some assistance to the Jamaica Public Service Company last week in cordoning off a section of the Long Hill area. Much of this will happen in other sections across St. James as they move to restore electricity.
Vernon says as such, electricity may not be restored for some communities until next year.
Based on the information that I've ascertained, it is quite evident that many of the communities will receive electricity within 2 to 3 weeks, but a significant portion of them won't receive electricity until January 2026. The team is being supported by a raft of operators coming in from overseas. It is necessary to place those persons who are coming in as support because they won't be here forever. You have to put them at a location that you believe is key, where you definitely need the support now, so when they leave, the local team can take it on from there.
He says the Light and Power Company has committed to restoring power to the major National Water Commission NWC pump houses in short order.
Much of what the National Water Commission needs is to get the energy in their section so that they can supply water. JPS is committed to ensuring that the pump houses are restored with power so that they can supply water to the needed areas. I got a call this morning even from Irvindale, Orange, the entire San Erin block, that they need electricity, they need water. And much work needs to be done along the San Erin Main Road to ensure that power can reach to the service station there for the National Water Commission.
Mayor Vernon is urging residents in the parish to remain patient as the restoration efforts continue. Abigail Bartley for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Mayor Vernon says a large quantity of, tens of thousands of care packages has been distributed since the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
The number of packages that we are distributing thus far is significant, over 100,000 packages. When you look at the number of persons who we have in our population, based on starting approximately 200,000 people, therefore the packages represent half of that population. Not to say that half of the population received, because there are cases where many persons have received more than once, and that is in line with what the requirements are for many of the communities that have been badly damaged, because some packages would serve 2 or 3 days. So if they receive more than once, it also means that they are able to get sustenance over an extended period of time.
According to the mayor, sharper focus is now being placed on vulnerable groups who remain in shelters.
We also look at the situation pertaining to our children in shelter. We're doing an investigation to ensure that they're in school, that they need the necessary care, and where possible, make recommendation to relevant authority to take up the matter in hand. If it needs to go to the CDA, if it needs to go to the Ministry of Education, we're looking at that. So we continue to monitor those numbers because they are fluctuating. We're moving from 400, and up to last week we were at 163 in shelter, and now we're at 139.
Richard Vernon, Mayor of Montego Bay. Managing Director of the Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ, Dr. David Lowe, says the first $4 billion of its M5 Business Recovery Program has already been secured. Speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday, Dr. Lowe outlined how the DBJ arrived at the sum.
I want to say clearly that we have put $1 billion in, and we're processing loans with our partners in the commercial banking sector. So the program is funded, because unfortunate headline, and I do think it's unfortunate, is that it would have suggested that this is a program that was just noise and not funded. But in fact, funding has started, and funding is now being reached to beneficiaries. $3 billion was approved by Cabinet, and we anticipate, as it was informed, to have that within the first quarter of 2026, and that quarter is January to March, and that would buffer the support that we have in terms of the $1 billion that is already in place.
DBJ announced the $10 billion program on November 26. It's expected to provide a boost for businesses in industries such as agriculture, manufacturing, distribution, and tourism following the devastation of Hurricane Melissa. It will offer loans of up to $50 million with a repayment period of 10 years. Dr. Lowe said at no point did the DBJ indicate that the government would front the full sum. He explained that the program's framework is based on a multi-year resilience strategy with funding set to be rolled out in phases. He says the remaining $6 billion will be financed over time.
What happens in subsequent fiscal years means that we just have to support it with an updated cabinet submission, and that takes place at a future time. But at this point, what we're working with is $4 billion to work through the next couple of months to be able to have a fast track to get those done. We will then consider a subsequent submission to update the framework, because again, we estimated the framework would cost $10 billion over time. Within the context of the framework, we fund different phases. As more information becomes available, we do that. We don't expect the government of Jamaica to write all of that right up front to place on our balance sheet. What we expect is that we show a continuum, show a set of objectives, measurable impact, and how we have targeted intervention is within the scope of that $10 billion.
Dr. David Lowe, Managing Director of the DBJ. Meanwhile, questions about financing for the program emerged during Wednesday's sitting of Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee. Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison said the program was not included in the third supplementary estimates as Cabinet had not given an approval. The issue was later clarified by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Arlene Williams. Dr. Lowe declined to address the Financial Secretary's comments.
I think it would be proper for me to speak as to what the effort said. To be frank, we have a wonderful relationship with the Ministry of Finance. I can't comment on what was said, and I think it's probably just appropriate for me to say, as of now, we have $1 billion in place with $3 billion approved by Cabinet, and that's the number that we're working with.
Dr. David Lowe, Managing Director of the Development Bank of Jamaica, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday. 2 men have been charged with the murder of 2 policemen on Waltham Park Road in St. Andrew last month. They are Junior Brown and Macarius Monroe, otherwise called Mackie. Both men have been charged with 2 counts of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, possession of prohibited ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. The men were charged on Thursday after they were placed on multiple ID parades. Their court date is being finalized. Dead are Constable Charles Stewart, otherwise called Stewie, and Constable Jamari Gordon. Constable Stewart was assigned to the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, while Constable Gordon was attached to the Spanish Town Police. Both lawmen were shot and killed while attempting to resolve a matter concerning a stolen motor vehicle. The constables were off duty at the time. Efforts are underway to ensure JPS customers affected by Hurricane Melissa are treated fairly on their December bills. The Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, sought to give the assurance at Wednesday's sitting of the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee. Ansred Hewitt is Director General of the OUR.
Yes, the OUR can offer that assurance that we will in fact verify that customers are not charged where there is zero consumption. That is not as cut and dried, so we're in discussion with JPS about that as well.
About 20% of JPS customers remain without power 4 weeks after Hurricane Melissa. The Light and Power Company had warned customers to brace for increases in their light bills after the weather event. Consumer Affairs Policy Specialist at the OUR, Colette Good, explained the considerations that will go into determining the final bill.
They would have prorated the estimated consumption based on the number of days of loss of service. What we also need to bear in mind is the bill that would have been received in November would have taken into consideration most of October's usage. If since October 28th, you were without service for up to 8 days, for example, and they have to estimate your consumption, then they would bill you for, say, 80% of your previous consumption.
Colette Good, Consumer Affairs Policy Specialist at the OUR. Regional news now. Law enforcement officials in Cuba say the island is prioritizing the fight against the narcotics trafficking in the Caribbean. They say as well that the country continues to provide information to the U.S. Coast Guard. The comments come amid escalating tensions and a surging U.S. military presence in the region. Cuba and the United States agreed in 2017 to cooperate in the fight against the drug trafficking. But Chief of Cuba's border guard, Colonel Ibe Carballo, told reporters in Havana that formal engagement between the two longtime rivals had ended under the second administration of Donald Trump. Carballo says Cuba nonetheless routinely provides the U.S. Coast Guard with intelligence on vessels suspected of trafficking drugs near its waters. He insists Cuba is not a black hole in the fight against drug trafficking. Further afield, Germany's parliament has approved a controversial new military service law that aims to boost numbers and meet NATO targets as tensions with Russia spur calls for stronger defense capabilities across Europe. The legislation, backed by months of heated debate, introduces a dual-track system. A more lucrative voluntary service is intended to attract young recruits, but if enlistment falls short, lawmakers can activate needs-based conscription. This would require a separate Bundestag vote and could involve a random selection if more are eligible than needed. The Defense Ministry will report recruitment figures to Parliament every 6 months. In a move not seen since conscription was suspended in 2011, all men born after January 1, 2008 will undergo medical evaluation, phased in as capacity allows. Both 18-year-old men and women will receive requests to declare willingness to serve, though only men must respond. India's largest airline, Indigo, cancelled hundreds of scheduled flights on Friday after 3 days of widespread disruption across its network. The carrier, which has a 60% market share in India and flies more than 2,000 flights daily, has been facing pilot shortages after it failed to adapt to new crew rostering rules. Thousands of passengers are stranded across India in what's a busy travel season, with all Indigo flights from the capital, Delhi, cancelled. Indigo says operations will return to normalcy by February 10, 2026. The airline said it has sought temporary relief on the new rules that call for more rest hours and restricted night duty. It says it will reduce flight operations to minimize disruptions from December 8. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:19.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile. Gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile. Gift a smile. Gift a smile.
Every deposit you make with iSave is more than just saving money. It's a key to winning a brand new home. That's right. Every $25,000 you deposit into your iSave account is another chance to win big. Win quarterly cash prizes of $150,000 or the grand prize, a brand new home of your own. Keep saving every month and your entries keep growing just like your balance. And all entries stay in for the grand draw. Open your VM iSave account today. VM iSave is the key to your winning future. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Conditions apply.
Hardware shoppers, enjoy 2 whole days of super savings on Monday, December 8 and Tuesday, December 9. Request quote at stewartshardware.com or message on WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram with order and contact. We'll process on sale days. Best value. Customer first.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning time again to our listeners. It's a quick update. Just to advise you, if you're on Perkins Boulevard, to get onto Reddit, so you're going to have some traffic there. Traffic is along Mullines Road, the top of Mullines Road, going all the way to the intersection, Mullines Boulevard, Reddit Road, yes. as an increased vehicular flow all the way towards that overpass, and it extends to Cassia Park Road, going across to Mullines, and Mullines going all the way up. Very busy. Walton Park Road in both directions, things are running smooth. All right, so it's a quick update until Monday morning. It's over to you, George.
Thank you, Lolo. Lolo there with Street Smarts 2 up next. Front page. Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
After 7 o'clock, thank you so much for staying with us. We're now on the front page. Earlier we said, Siobhan, that Oret Bruce Golding is 77. He's now 78 today. 78 today. Did some checks. Got the math wrong based on the source. But he's 78 today. So happy 78th to the former Prime Minister. Well, we turn our eyes now to the EDF and the Fair Billing and Relief for affected customers. Yesterday, the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee focused on accountability in restoring essential services after Hurricane Melissa, including electricity, water, and sewage. The OUR has approved an initial $5 million drawdown from the Emergency Disaster Fund to support JPS in restoring power, while relief measures such as suspended disconnections and adjusted billing are in place for electricity, water, and sewage customers in the hardest hit areas.
Well, we expect to be joined shortly by Dr. Cedric Wilson. He's the Deputy Director General with responsibility for electricity, water, and sewerage at the OUR. I know a lot of people have some concerns about the pace of restoration of electricity, as well as billing concerns after what transpired last year during Hurricane Beryl. So a lot of people concerned that JP is still sending bills despite them not actually having any electricity. And I understand during was it? Well, yes, no, that would have been Wednesday. So during Wednesday's PAAC sitting, the JPS gave the the OUR gave the assurance that those billing concerns will be addressed and that Jamaicans have nothing to be worried about, that they will have a talk with JPS about this practice of providing a bill despite no electricity being available to those customers. So we hope to get Mr. Dr. Cedric Wilson on shortly.
Yeah, especially when it comes to the sewage. Water has been going well based on reports though, Siobhan. The NWC has, they moved quickly to station generators at particular pump stations across the island before the hurricane. And that seemed to have paid off yesterday. Even yesterday we spoke about it, George and I, where we're of the view that they learned some lessons from Beryl and applied and implemented those lessons in order to face the brunt of Hurricane Melissa. I mean, I feel like over the past month or so, almost every day, we've been talking about some impact, some spin-off of Hurricane Melissa. It goes to show how devastating that hurricane has been for this country. But certainly we're making some progress and need to make some checks as it relates to the utility providers, especially electricity, because as you understand, if there's no electricity, then it affects schooling, it affects healthcare, it affects you being able to store food, and that is also a major issue. In a time like this, you want to be able to store food to feed your family in a very efficient manner. We have with us now Dr. Wilson. Good morning, Doc.
Yes, good morning. How are you doing?
We're good. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Well, I'm happy to be joining you.
Good. Well, Dr. Wilson, tell us, the US $5 million drawdown that's been allocated. Want to understand, though, how is it allocated specifically across electricity, water, and the sewage services?
Okay, the 50 million really. The drawdown is specific to the electricity sector. Okay. Because for the electricity sector, there is a fund which was designed to deal with hurricane damages, which is paid for from monthly contributions from customers' bills. So that 50 million is exclusively for the electricity sector and not just for any part of the electricity sector. It is specifically for the transmission and distribution lines for which there is no insurance available in the Caribbean.
And specifically, what has that 50 million drawdown been used for by the JPS?
Okay, let me tell you what the rules are. The rules, the rules for the funds, because there are rules associated with it, says that JPS can get a cash advance of 50% of the projected damage that they expect to have experienced. The estimate in relation to this hurricane is way out of the scale, way off the scale. 350 million, 390 million, somewhere in that region. And therefore, the 50 million is just minuscule in comparison to what the estimate is. So therefore, in providing this 50 million, and I should say 50 million, it is really 40 million in relation to Melissa, and the other 10 million is the residual amount associated with Beryl. So that is how the money has been assigned. That 50 million has been assigned.
Speaking, I believe it was a few days ago that the OUR expressed some trepidation about JPS's lack of definitive timelines as it relates to the restoration in key areas and the money provided both through the EDF as well as the government at the tune of $150 million US. There was some expectation that those timelines would be tightened. Have you gotten those assurances from JPS that they can now provide you with a more definitive understanding as to when so many customers will be brought back on the grid?
Well, originally, JPS was suggesting end of March, April. And that is because of the kind of support they would be getting in terms of workers from overseas to supplement their own efforts out here. I think they had somewhere in the region of 170 workers from North America. But what they had actually said was if they could get 300 more workers, they could bring it to the end of February, January, end of February, somewhere about there. So it is all contingent on how much resources, how much finance they have in order to expedite the work. So what we're hearing now is end of February, January, possibly. But end of February is the date that is being suggested now.
End of February. As it relates to relief measures in the interim, we'd like to hear more from you as it relates to what's been contemplated, if not already approved, for relief measures to the customers, especially where electricity is concerned. Let's take a break and we get your answer after.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is...
It's 7:32.
Visit Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore, for all your prescription needs, gifts, personal care, household, and stationery items. The temperature by Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore is...
It's 27 degrees Celsius here in the capital city, Kingston, 25 out west in Montego Bay, and 21 in Mandeville.
Burger King. Holla me, holla yo, holla way. Follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. Hata afa we say new cheesy jalapeno whopper make we talk in a gypsy. Well a pot, me I forget the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper. Whole heap of spicy jalapenos and creamy cheese sauce. Get the combo with fries and drinks for $1,350. Holla me, holla yo, holla way. Follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. It's the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper from Burger King.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile. Gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile. Gift a smile. Gift a smile.
The Sagicor Bank Biz Fair is back. 2 days of super deals. Kingston Biz Fair. Come shop Christmas gifts and more. Thursday, December 11, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sagicor Bank Parking Lot, 17 Dominica Drive. Montego Bay Biz Fair. Let's help SMEs rebuild as you shop for Christmas. Saturday, December 13, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Harmony Beach Park. Use your Sagicor Bank MasterCard for exclusive discounts all day. Hardware supplies, household items, solar products, and so much more. Powered by MasterCard.
Welcome back, listeners, viewers. We're talking restoration efforts again with the Deputy Director General, rather, of the Office of Utility Regulations with responsibility for electricity, water and sewerage. That's Dr. Cedric Wilson. So, Dr. Wilson, Saeed asked a question regarding
the relief, any relief as it relates to billing, especially one of the MPs noted Doc, that people were still getting bills even though they had no electricity.
Yeah, the question of relief in this time of great hardship for people who have been, houses have been demolished is a very important one. And many of them are facing serious financial challenges just bringing things together. What I do understand from our discussions with JPS is that if you already had consumed before the hurricane and that amount is known, a bill would be sent just for you to know exactly what your balances or your responsibilities are with respect to your consumption. Where people, supply has been disrupted and it was for a percentage of the period, what would be done is the bill would be based on the percentage used. But the understanding is that in terms of disconnection, which many people, there's no hope for reconnection because they are disconnected because of the hurricane itself. There is the whole matter that there won't be this kind of pressure that normally takes place for people to pay bills. In fact, what I understand is there's scope for people to renegotiate how they pay their bills, even if they are still connected in some areas. So I think a lot of it depends on the customers having a discussion with JPS to see exactly how these bills can be programmed over time in terms of payments.
So tell me, Doctor, based on what you're suggesting, that sounds like there is going to be a moratorium on disconnections. Has the JPS explained how long that grace is going to be applied in circumstances even when customers do get their power restored?
No, there's nothing explicit on it right now, but I understand that people can speak to JPS directly and work out arrangement depending on their particular situation. I should also say, though, that the greatest relief that anybody can get during this period is to get the lights back. And one of the things that has been happening is we have been discussing with JPS and we have given approval for the installation of distributed generation operations in various places, 30 megawatts. And when I talk about distributed generation, I mean it is important to have the transmission grid in place in order for you to get power. And until that is in place, people in remote corners of the island might not be able to get power. So what is being done is a plan is being put together to bring generators, large generators, 2 megawatt generators, and isolate that area from the rest of the grid and provide electricity by these generators so that it can get commerce and the economy in those local areas going before power actually reaches the transmission line and the distribution line that brings energy to these centers. So that is being done as well. It is being fashioned even as I speak right now.
Well, how does that work, Dr. Wilson? Are generators going to the homes? Are the generators big enough to replace aspects of the grid to give that electricity to the homes? How does it work operationally?
It is really generation a generator, a mobile generator that is brought into a community, a large enough community, talking about places like Treasure Island.
Says, is it one big generator that goes into the community and then it feeds the lines to go back into the homes? How?
Yes. That's exactly how it will work.
Okay, so the community would get electricity from that large generator that would be in the community, is what you're saying?
Community health centers, priority places will be getting.
And Dr. Wilson, you said earlier that those who are having difficulties as it relates to bills, they must just speak to JPS. But you'd appreciate that it doesn't exactly work like that as it relates to, speaking to JPS, speaking to customer service. There has to be some plan or program in place, either through the OUR and JPS or from JPS alone. What we're asking is there any forthcoming as it relates to how long they will have a moratorium on disconnections? What is the channel, the proper channel, if any, to have communication to say I need to apply for the no disconnection program if there is such one? That is what we're asking for, the specificities as it relates to, is there accommodation, specific accommodation through a program or a plan of the OUR or the JPS to facilitate something like that?
Yeah, I mean, as you outlined it, Doug, it sounds more like a gentleman's agreement than anything concrete. Dr. Wilson?
Lost him?
It seems so. I mean, I was going to raise the question if you didn't say it, because it seems strange to me that under these circumstances, we are essentially leaving it up to JPS to extend that olive branch if they feel so inclined. I don't know if that's necessarily how we want to go about this. It sounds like just a gentleman's agreement saying, JPS may accommodate you. I think we need something a little bit more definitive, a little bit more codified to say this is what you can expect in terms of assistance from JPS.
We've been in communication with them. This is the program. There's a moratorium for X amount of time. Or if not, if you're having a difficulty, you can be considered given the circumstances, but you need to send an email to X person. They are doing considerations through this. Dr. Wilson, you're back?
Yes, I'm back.
Yes, so what we were asking is, it can't be the case that they must just go talk to JPS. They might end up nowhere based on how these people operate. What we're asking is there any purpose-driven conversation from the OUR's lens with JPS as it relates to having a program in place to codify the moratorium on disconnection, or as it relates to people who are still getting bills even though they have no electricity, or people who have electricity but they're on hard times? Is there any mechanism in place for them, formal mechanism in place for them to benefit from a moratorium on disconnection or a payment plan or something of the sort?
We have had discussions with JPS on that matter, and they are open to the idea. I think it's just a question of passioning it out, so that when they go out with it, they can be very clear with their message. But we have had discussions along that line.
And you said that when you said that they're open to it, what do you mean? They have indicated that they're willing to go to the table and echo out a plan to give implementation to that idea?
I think they're already working on a plan,
So a plan is forthcoming as it relates to moratorium and disconnection and bill payments and all of that, is what you're saying?
I think they have been working out a plan as to how to deal with that aspect. Because one of the things you don't want, is that a part of the island has been affected severely and another part escaped the brunt of the hurricane. You don't want to send out a message that can be interpreted by the people who suffer the least that this is a holiday on their bill, because this is the point at which money is actually needed.
Dr. Wilson, I can appreciate that, and I think most Jamaicans can appreciate that circumstance as well. I don't think anybody's asking for it to be a essential freeness period for those unaffected. I mean, it's easily identifiable where the areas of the most impact are, and I think it shouldn't just be I think they are doing this. I think this is a matter where the OUR should be quite firm with JPS as to the expectations for how customers should be treated during this period of time. And it doesn't sound like there's anything definitive on paper.
Now, as I said before, Damien, JPS is already on board with the idea of giving relief to customers. The question of how that message is fashioned, that it is not misconveyed or misunderstood, is important, and that is I think, the last mile that they have to go in this plan, insofar as I understand.
Very well. Dr. Cedric Wilson, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Dr. Wilson is the Deputy Director General with responsibility for electricity, water and sewage from the OUR. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you, Damien. Have a good day. Thank you, listeners.
Very well. We go for the break.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
7:47.
Hawkeye expresses heartfelt sympathy to all Jamaicans impacted by Hurricane Melissa. As we recover together, we remain committed to securing what matters most. The temperature by Hawkeye is...
It's 27 degrees Celsius here in the capital city, Kingston, 25 out west Montego Bay, and 21 in Mandeville.
Welcome home to Desera. Gated Smart Homes by SIAC Community in Portmore. Enjoy climate-resilient living with 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom smart homes starting at $36.95 million. Safe, sustainable, and perfect for families ready to live smarter. Apply online today at smarthomesjamaica.com. Smart Homes by SIAC, where smart comes standard.
We in this together, hands on hearts spread wide. We know things will get better, working side by side. We in this together, rebuilding homes and lives, no matter the weather. You are not alone.
Sagicor is contributing over $200 million to Jamaica's Hurricane Melissa recovery. We're also standing by our clients. If you're a client in need of support, call 888-SAGICOR.
Struggling with your student loan? Or maybe you're already on top of it, but you want to save even more. Introducing the Student Loan Bureau Debt Reset Program. Effective December 1, 2025, here's what you get. Waivers on late fees, reduction of interest arrears, and even discounts on your interest rate when you maintain good standing for a year. Reset your debt today. Visit slbja.com or email us at debtreset@slbja.com.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. We turn now to matters of education, and good news actually, where the Student Loan Debt Reset Program has been launched by the government, and we have with us the Executive Director of the Student Loan Bureau, that is Ms. Nikisha Walsh. Good morning, Ms. Walsh.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning again. And please, Ms. Walsh, just give us a quick rundown of the Student Loan Bureau Debt Reset Program for those who might not have been keyed in terms of the key aspects of it.
Okay. So the Debt Reset Program was designed to provide borrowers with an opportunity to reduce their balances and eliminate accumulated charges. It also offers benefits to borrowers who are also in good standing. So if you are a customer as at October 31st, 2025, and you are current, meaning you have no arrears on your account, we will be applying a one-time credit of up to 100,000 directly to your loan account.
Nice.
And then for those customers who are in arrears, 30 days or greater late, you will also be getting a reset program where we are going to be waiving 50% of your interest arrears, 100% of your late fees, and 100% of your insurance charges.
And because they get all of that, they don't get the 100,000.
No, they won't get the 100,000. They get the ability to now to clear the difference and bring their our loan account current. And they have 5 months to do so. So they can indicate if they can clear their arrears in 1 month, 2 months, up to 5 months. And we'll give them a payment plan which they will honor. And at the end of that payment plan, we will waive all the other charges from their account.
So in a sense, everybody that has a loan with the Student Loan Bureau, they have something to get under the student, the reset program. So if they're in compliance, they get 100,000. But if they have these charges and 50% of the interest and all of that, then they get that help as well.
Definitely.
Nice.
So tell us, Ms. Walsh, for those whose accounts fall below that 100,000 threshold, does that mean it simply closes the book, so to speak?
They will be there. Their accounts will be closed, and they will be issued a closure letter.
But Ms. Walsh, I have, let's say for argument's sake, I have 85,000 left to pay. May I get 25,000 cash then, like how they, pay off the rest and then they give me the rest in credit?
No, it says up to 100,000.
Oh, it's up to?
Up to 100,000. So if you have more than 100,000, you'll get the 100,000. But if you have less than 100,000, we'll simply close the account.
Very well. And is this program automatic or do they have to apply for it?
Well, for the customers who are in good standing, they are automatic.
Nice.
But the other customers, you will have to apply so we can look at the terms that you have selected and help to monitor that account and ensure that you clear your portion so we can apply the difference.
All right. So can you walk us through that application process then for those who are found in arrears?
Okay. So as well as a debt reset, we are also opening the new portal. The new portal is where you now can access your loan account online and you can see your balances. You can also make payments and you can also print your statements. So for you to be able to participate in the debt reset, you will be directed to our website where you will first go on the onboarding platform where you're required to complete your KYC records, that's know your customer records, and create login credentials. From that login, then you'll be directed to the debt reset page, which you will go and apply and then choose whichever payment matter that suits you.
So, Ms. Walsh, there was also a program announced regarding grant-in-aid support for those in the hardest-hit parishes. How does that work exactly, and how does one try to go about for that application?
Okay, so the Hurricane Melissa Impact Support Measures, it supports both students in schools and those customers who are in repayment. So there is no application for this program. What we have done, we would have identified students that are attended institutions within the 5 parishes, and those 5 parishes are Trelawney, Hanover, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and St. James. So based on the institutions located in those parishes, what we are doing is sending 60,000 granting aid to support those students. And then we would have identified 4,458 of our payment customers who reside within these 5 parishes. What we have also done is to apply a deferment on their account so they don't have to pay their loans within the 3 months between November 1 and January 2026.
Nice. You gave us a lot of information, Ms. Walsh, and I want to break it down a bit. So first of all, the deferment period. How long is it deferred for? It's deferred for 3 months?
3 months.
It's
November
3
1.
months.
to January 2026.
And that is also automatic, or they have to apply for it?
That is automatic. They don't have to apply for that.
Okay. And that automation is done based on their address?
That exactly.
Okay.
And that's why we also have an extended assistance for those persons who we did not able to capture. So their address might be saying Kingston, but they do reside in St. Elizabeth.
Okay.
We're asking those customers now to contact us individually so we can assess their situation, and they will also apply the deferment.
It's very interesting that you said they must contact you, Ms. Walsh, because Stacey Crawford in her YouTube chat, she said she's been trying to get SLB for the last 2 weeks and can't get to them, saying that the phone lines are down.
The phone lines are not down. What is happening, because everybody is calling about application and repayment is jammed, but what we have done, we have gotten 3 additional numbers that will be posted on our social media pages later. So for persons who want to ask information about Melissa or debt reset, they will be directed to those lines.
Those numbers.
And then the other customers about their regular application, they will continue to contact SLB regular phone.
Okay. Don't want to put you on the spot,
Right.
Ms. Walsh, but do you have those numbers? Can you share with us now?
I don't have it right now, but I will be able to send it later, and then you can broadcast it for us.
We would appreciate that. We'd appreciate
No
that.
problem.
And as it relates to the people now in the hardest hit parishes, we spoke about the grant in aid, which is automatic based on what you said. But for those who want to access the debt reset program and they are in arrears, and by virtue of that they have to apply, but they can't apply because they're having no electricity, no internet, and they're out in the West. What happens to them? How can they access it?
Well, I will be working with our ATIs, approved tertiary institution for students or customers who can access us, because we do have hubs in schools at certain locations where the SLB team goes out and actually process from those locations. So we are at NCU, we are at UE in St. James, we're at UE in UTech in St. James as well, and we're at Bethlehem Community College. So we are asking our customers, in the event they cannot access us, they can go out to those locations.
Okay.
Understood.
Okay.
On a more broader topic, Ms. Walsh, I understand that the number of applications for student loans at the SLB has fallen quite dramatically over the years. What do you think is attributing to that?
Well, there it's issues that affect our customers. One, sometimes we see underemployment, so depending on their course of study, and when they graduate, their employment don't offer the amount that they can satisfy their loan. So we see sometimes that they're underemployment, but we do encourage in those instances for our customers to come in office so we can make arrangements so they don't go into arrears. We also see migration, and that is one of the biggest challenge that we have for students who would have accessed our facility. They will go overseas, and then we no longer can identify. But what we recognized when we were testing the new portal, we did a sample of 50 customers and for persons to access and onboard and access their account. We found where one person was in the US able to access their account, one person was in Canada, one person was in St. Lucia, and the others were in Jamaica. So this portal is also opening access or widening the access for persons across the world who want to encourage and to pay their loans to be able to go online and pay. So this is also a method or a way for us to help to reduce our delinquency rate.
Nice. And as it relates to the debt reset program, SLB has been doing a lot of reformation, not only physically as it relates to the building and the logo, but policy-wise. How does this fit into the greater reform strategy of SLB?
Well, one, for persons to benefit, because SLB have a lot of benefits. Persons in good standing, persons who are students who are getting good grades in school. We offer reduced interest rates. So if we can get our students at a current status, what it does is it helps them to build their future, reduce their financial burden, and also improve their credit score and giving them a fresh start. What it does for the SLB, it increases our cash flow and our ability to lead more students or the next generation of students. Our tuition is increasing yearly, and if we don't have adequate cash flow, we won't be able to increase the limit that we lend to support those tuition costs. So it is a process or a system that will help us as a country to invest in our youth, to give them the opportunity so they can achieve their goals.
Very well. Ms. Nikisha Walsh is the Executive Director of the Student Loans Bureau. Thank you so much, Ms. Walsh, for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Have a good weekend.
Before we wrap up, Saeed, I just received something from the OUR regarding JPS. I'm assuming they were listening to that discussion we had just earlier, and it is one of their customer relief programs called Rebuilding Together, with a little bit more definitive information. It's from the JPS. It says, "Dear valued customer, we hope you and your loved ones are safe following the passage of Hurricane Melissa, and extend our heartfelt compassion and concern to all who have been affected. Our top priority is the safety and well-being of our employees and our customers, and we stand with you during the period of recovery. In the coming days, you will receive your bill, which reflects your electricity usage before Hurricane Melissa for the period up to October 28. We know this is a challenging time, and to support you, we've introduced our customer relief program, which includes the following measures." So listen carefully, listeners. There will be no service disconnections until December 15, 2025. That means no service disconnections until December 15, 2025. All late fees will be waived for the same period, so that is until December 2025, and payment arrangements are available for those who need additional support. The JPS says through its customer relief program, you can defer payments while you take time to recover and rebuild. However, they recommend that you make payments wherever possible to help reduce balances being carried forward on future invoices. So this is one example of what the OUR in tandem with the utilities are working to put together for customers who would be impacted by Hurricane Melissa. So this is more what we were hoping to see, something more definitive, concrete, in writing. So for those who didn't hear clearly earlier, there will be no service disconnections for customers of JPS until December 15, 2025. All late fees will be waived for the same period up to December 15, 2025, and payment arrangements are available for those who need additional support. So I hope this gives more Jamaicans some confidence as to how they can operate in terms of their JPS bills going forward. So no late fees or service disconnections until the midpoint of December, and you can reach out to JPS to put together a payment plan and a deferment of payments if you require it. So thank you for the OUR that was sent to me by Elizabeth Bennett Marsh over at the OUR. Always keyed in to the needs of the actual customers here in Jamaica.
Up next, across Jamaica.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
this morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:05.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica on this Friday, December 5, 2025, Tax Administration Jamaica is advising that in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, operations across several locations in Western Jamaica have been disrupted. As a result, a number of offices are only offering limited services and reduced operating hours. The affected locations are Montego Bay Revenue Service Center and the tax offices at Falmouth, Jacksontown, Darlington, and Lucy. In the case of the Mobay Revenue Service Center, opening hours remain 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. All regular services are being offered there with the exception of same-day driver's license processing. Meanwhile, the locations at Falmouth, Jacksontown, Darlington, and Lucy close at 2 p.m. each day. TAJ says those locations are only able to issue previously processed documents, including driver's licenses, motor vehicle registration plates, motor vehicle titles, and taxpayer registration number cards. The agency says e-services are available at the locations, but customers must bring their own digital devices with internet connectivity. The Jamaica Customs Agency has announced a temporary waiver of import permits for a wide range of medical and personal care items. The measure is designed to accelerate hurricane relief operations and reduce clearance times at the ports. Chief Executive Officer and Commissioner of Customs, Dr. Velma Ricketts Walker, made the announcement at a recent virtual town hall hosted by the Embassy of Jamaica in Washington, D.C. The permits are waived until March 31, 2026. The list of qualifying items include over-the-counter medication, personal care items, sanitizers, disinfectants, first aid kits, and water purification tablets. The number of justices of the peace serving Kingston has been boosted with the commissioning of 80 new officers on Thursday. They took and subscribed to the oath of office and oath of allegiance during a ceremony at Kingston Bookshop in downtown Kingston. The new JPs completed an intensive qualifying training course organized by the Justice Training Institute. JPs play a lay magistrate role in the justice system. Their functions include witnessing statutory declarations and affidavits, certifying documents, attending children's courts and drug courts, considering bail applications, and visiting correctional and care facilities. That's it for Across Jamaica.
Deposit you make with iSave is more than just saving money. It's a key to winning a brand new home. That's right. Every $25,000 you deposit into your iSave account is another chance to win big. Win quarterly cash prizes of $150,000 or the grand prize, a brand new home of your own. Keep saving every month and your entries keep growing just like your balance. And all entries stay in for the grand draw. Open your VM iSave account today. VM iSave is the key to your winning future. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Conditions apply.
Hardware shoppers, enjoy 2 whole days of super savings on Monday, December 8 and Tuesday, December 9. Request quote at stewartshardware.com or message on WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram with order and contact. We'll process on sale days. Best value. Customer first.
St. Anne and Trelawney Nationwide 90 FM is heading your way this Friday. On December 5 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., we continue our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series with a dual broadcast live from Brownstown High School, St. Anne, and Litchfield Playfield, Trelawney. 2 parishes, 1 mission, helping our people get back on their feet. Come out and connect with our hosts, share your stories, and let Jamaica know how your community is rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. We'll be distributing care packages and our partners will be offering free health checks, prescription support, and water tank sign-ups. Nationwide 90 FM, rebuilding Jamaica, one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by the National Health Fund, the Office of the Prime Minister, Petrojam, Airports Authority of Jamaica, LMH Publishing, Campari Group, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, National Solid Waste Management Authority, the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, Phoenix Vision Center, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Rural Water Supply Limited, the National Water Commission, Massey Distribution, and Bungalow Gems. Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying with us. Well, even after the damage caused by Hurricane Melissa, one thing remains unchanged: the strength and unity of the Jamaican people. But staying informed during recovery has been a challenge. That's why a group of local IT developers, graduates of the UEMONA and UTech, led by Travis Brown, they've created a new platform designed to bring clarity and support to communities across the island. It's called rebuildja.com, and it organizes real-time updates, community condition reports, and relief information all in one accessible place. Rebuild JA requires residents who know the condition of their community to share that information on the site. Every report, every donation, and every share brings the nation one step closer to rebuilding together. To tell us more about Rebuild JA is its founder, Travis Brown. Good morning, Travis.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very good. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, first of all, tell us what inspired you and your team to create rebuildja.com, especially in the aftermath of Melissa.
Okay, so what inspired us was, like everyone else, after Hurricane Melissa, everybody felt it. We felt the need to help as much as we could. And, we could see on social media, everyone going out to help. But the problem that I also found watching social media videos, I saw some people talk about that there are communities that are seeing aid coming for the first time, even though it was a week or a week and a half after the hurricane had hit. And that's what struck the idea. I realized that I myself, and I'm sure many other people, probably don't know about the rural communities that are further up the hills of Westmoreland or Hanover. And I realized that everybody can't watch every TikTok video to understand the status of a community, right? So that's why we built rebuild-ja.com to centralize the information and give people the ability to report on the communities to help everyone coordinate their efforts. And like you said, this was built by entirely UE and UTech graduates.
Okay. So tell us about the website now. How does it work?
The website. So the website was built to be mobile friendly because we know that people may be pulling this up on their phone while they're out in the field, and it is user friendly. And also we have a color blind feature and a dark mode. And a lot of our development is user driven, so we prioritize feedback from the public and from relief organizations. Once you go to rebuild-ja.com, you'll land on the homepage where you might have to scroll a little bit if you're on the phone to see the Go to Rebuild map button. You'll be able to search communities, filter by a parish, and or even filter by the constituency. You could filter by, say you want to see only communities that do not have road access, right? The government would be able to use this and say, send out whatever agencies need to be sent out to focus on clearing those roads specifically, right? It's a great tool that keeps up with the rapidly changing situation and makes it easy for us to coordinate and deploy teams to help Jamaica, and it provides transparency of the needs of the people so local and international audiences that may be watching and maybe thinking of donating and trying to help in whatever way they can, right? With the direction of climate change and the climate reality that Jamaica finds itself in, a higher standard is needed for disaster response, and Jamaica can be that shining beacon of what disaster response and recovery looks like.
So in other words, what you're saying to me is that the government would get great assistance from using rebuild-ja.com. International partners as well who want to make an assessment as to what they could do to help. They could also use the website But you're also saying that community members could also use the website, in that they would be the ones to update the website and the situation on the ground in their communities.
Absolutely. So that's why we... Sorry, go ahead.
So what I wanted to ask was, so how does a community member do that? How do they go on the website and upload the situation in their community?
Got you. So they would go to the website, rebuild-ja.com, and you will land on the map, on the homepage, and you'll click the button to go to the map. And once they search their community, they'll be able to click on it and they can vote. And if they made a mistake, they can take back their vote. And they can say that, yes, Belmont, Westmoreland has road access. If that was an accident, they can take back the vote and say, no, Belmont, Westmoreland does not have road access. And you can do the same thing for road, water, electricity, and internet. Right? And we understand we're moving from relief to recovery right now. And these four things, these four infrastructures are not the only thing that is needed to rebuild Jamaica, but it is the beginning. It's the proof of concept that we've built, and we have the infrastructure. And agencies like ODPEM need ground truth data, and we've built the infrastructure. Now we just need to integrate it and expand it. What we brushed on in our CDM interview yesterday was an offline mode, right? Just going back to how the everyday person can be able to contribute to this. What we brushed on is that we have a technical implementation plan for how offline mode, so even somebody with a banger phone can report on the status of a community, and this will allow us to build a more robust system capable of meeting the needs of the people. And this is why we would love to partner with our telecommunication providers.
Okay, and as it relates to donations and all of that, does the site, what does the site do in relation to that? Does it do anything in relation to that, or is it just a stakeholder analysis of on-the-ground activities?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that first part again?
Does the site do anything relating to donations, or is it just a stakeholder analysis of on-the-ground activities in Jamaica, in the West?
Okay, so absolutely, people can go onto the website and donate to the operations of keeping the website up and running. And as well, we're working on building national coordination tools as we reach out to different relief organizations that are going to be made public soon. Where we reached out to, say, a relief organization in Negril, and we found that we could build a website for them to consolidate and streamline the process for sponsors, local and international, that wanted to browse different families that they could contribute to, as this relief organization was putting roofs back up. And they had put up about 80 roofs at this point, so they wanted an easy way for people to go along and scan for different families that they could help. Right, so but for now, you can go onto the website and you should see the donate button at the top to help keep the website going.
Okay. Anything else that we should know about this website?
Absolutely. So, yes. So, as you can say, we have hurricane season every year, right? This year was Melissa, last year was Beryl, and Beryl was a Category 5 that hit us as a Category 3 and just happened to turn left. It's very important that we improve the standard of disaster response, and this is something so that we can no longer just be reactive, we can be proactive, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much, Travis Brown. Wish you all the best with rebuild-ja.com. And thank you so much for the good work that you're doing, you and your team, in bringing some awareness as to what is happening on the ground in every nook and cranny out in Western Jamaica. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
And for those of you who want to access the website, it is www.rebuild-ja.com. You can go there, access the website, and you'll see all you need to know, yeah? All right, we go for the break, and after the break, we take your calls. The numbers are 876-630-937-124, and of course, 618-6730.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:20.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is
28 degrees in Kingston, 27 out west in Montego Bay, and 22 in Mandeville.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, give a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to give the smile, give the smile, give the smile.
St. Anne and Trelawney Nationwide 90 FM is heading your way this Friday. On December 5 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., we continue our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series with a dual broadcast live from Brownstown High School, St. Anne, and Litchfield Playfield, Trelawney. 2 parishes, 1 mission, helping our people get back on their feet. Come out and connect with our hosts, share your stories, and let Jamaica know how your community is rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. We'll be distributing care packages, and our partners will be offering free health checks, prescription support, and water tank sign-ups. Nationwide 90 FM, rebuilding Jamaica, one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by the National Health Fund, the Office of the Prime Minister, Petrojam, Airports Authority of Jamaica, LMH Publishing, Campari Group, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, National Solid Waste Management Authority, the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, Phoenix Vision Center, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Rural Water Supply Limited, the National Water Commission, Massey Distribution, and Bungalow Gems.
Welcome back, listeners, viewers. As said, taking your calls, the numbers 630-9371-4 and 618-6730. We have Anthony on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right, but you sound a little distance from the phone there, Anthony. Anthony? Anthony, it seems like we've lost you. Anthony, are you there? Hello? I hear you. Papa Nana, good morning.
Good morning, my friend. How you do?
Doing all right. How are you?
Me all right, you know. From here, your voice, you must know to me all right.
All right, Papa Nana. What's up with you today?
First of all, I want to big up your mother and your father. Right?
Why is that?
What do you mean, why that? Because if you bring a nice son come here and see help you out, man.
Let me just say, Papa Nana, as with many Jamaicans, you can give the 100% credit to my mother. Eh? You don't need to divide it up. Just give 100% credit to my mother.
Sure. I tell you, man, how much to your father?
It's a zero. If 100%, then none left after that, Papa Nana.
I listen about you train you. You hear where you come with it. Listen to me now. You see, when you come to ask Christmas, we don't deal with politics more than the ordinary. But me only want to big up Mr. Golden. Because let me tell you something. I think he was way ahead of his time, you know.
Oh, definitely. He tried to introduce some things to governance that I think a lot of Jamaicans at the time, due to the... I don't, you know, I can understand. There was a very understandable... I don't want to go too deep into this. There was a very understandable expectation of the hostility toward the incoming administration at the time due to long-seated partisanships in the civil service. We'll not say it any more than that. And much of what Mr. Golding tried to put in place, people warned him against it as a result of that partisanship. But I mean, I think we're the better for it today in terms of isolating the the political directorate from the actual business of governance. And I think he was very forward thinking in that. Much of his reforms are still in place today, and he should be lauded for it ahead of his time, as you said.
I'm telling you, man, but listen, I don't treat me bad, because I don't even know if he would remember me. I just want him to understand and remember. I was the person who was beside him and Cleve Lewis when he went to Norman Manley Airport to pull that cat from the first flight for Air Jamaica, So I don't know if he would remember me. Well,
you'd have to ask him that one directly, but I'm sure he probably would remember. He's a very cerebral individual, Nothing escapes his notice.
But tell me what happened. I tried to get to him, and the nearest I went, it was when he was trimming, his barber was trimming his hair, and then he said he would talk to me. And from that, but I don't too say anything, because I did the same thing with Dr. Chang and the Minister of Transport, the Red Rod. It seems to me like some ministers, they don't get up in a jacket and neckties. They don't deal with you as a taxpayer. So, I'm very disappointed with Dr. Chang and Mr. Brad. They don't seem fit to talk to me. But anyway, I just want to big up Mr. Golden again and big up Nationwide.
All right, Papa.
And remember our Christmas carols in the man. It's time to, man.
I'm sure Saeed has you covered in terms of the Christmas carols.
Yes, man. Yes, man. I want to take care.
All right, Papa. Have a good morning.
There's nothing wrong in me saying I love you.
All right.
Love you too, man, Gramps.
There is anything wrong with that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
So let you take so long for answer.
Who take long for answer? Siobhan, don't it? You have to see with him. You have to see with him.
Easy attack.
I mean, you attack?
Yes.
Papa Nani, I love you, man. Take care, man. Take care of yourself, man. All the best for the merriments. One love you, Gramps.
Yes.
All
right. Take care of yourself. By the way, before I go to Carl, the numbers are, I got the SLB debt reset mobile numbers. Got them from Miss Nikisha Walls just now. True to her word, as she said. The numbers are 1876 588 6484 and 1-876-592-0355 and 1-876-845-0331. I'm reading them one more time. These are the debt reset numbers that you can call if you're trying to sort out your application. 1-876-588-6484, 1-876-592-0355 and 1-876-845-0331. All right, so those are the numbers. Good morning, Carl.
Morning.
Morning, Carl.
Sir, I want to ask you a question this morning. Sir, Miss Ilya, the way they had a jam. Anybody do anything in a Jamaica, she always a call for them to resign. And she mislead the country that $3 trillion was missing. And up to today, he confessed Tuesday. What is she waiting on to write her resignation? Because she always a call for other people's head when they made a mistake. And she mislead the country that $3 trillion is missing. And now she turn up and say, so she did say, what is she waiting on now to step aside? Because she called for Mr. Warmington to step aside. She called for Andrew Weekly to step aside. She called for Six Pin-Up to step. All the people, them, she always up on top. Them to resign. She don't give them no preference to proven innocent until proven guilty. So is the same thing must go for her now? She must step aside now, because anything else will come out of that body. Then it is a garbage bin.
All right, sir. I listen to you, sir. I listen to you. You can't expect me to answer that question. I don't know why she don't resign. I'm not in her mind. I can't speculate as to that.
But, Council, if you do something that was misleading, Council, and you always call upon everybody else when they do something that is misleading, they're not guilty yet, no? Or she always want to cut off them short. Fair time now. Do the honor thing.
Okay.
Do the honor thing. I was sitting on a board of a transport business one time, and something happened. Never my fault. Mm-hmm. And I asked them that to give me to step aside.
Okay.
And if she did something like that shows that she come confess, because our party never wins. Because if our party did win, she would have never said anything further. It had left there that the government that was in office, $3 trillion can't be found. She wouldn't come back and say anything.
Okay.
And it's time we need by today. I don't think she should make this weekend finish and she don't step aside.
Okay.
Then if she don't step aside by this weekend, anything else should happen in Jamaica. She have no privilege. She shouldn't speak about it. She cannot say anything. And that is what is same knife will stick the goat and hit a sticky sheep. Step aside now, miss.
All right, Carl. I hear you, Carl. All right. We go for the break, yeah? We'll take some more calls after the break.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. The time by Grace could move is...
It's 8:32.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Those oldies but goodies reminds me of you.
Welcome back. Taking your calls for a bit. The number is 630-937-124 and 618-6730. Winston, you're on the line.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Papa Nana. I know Papa Nana for better part of 40 years, and every time I hear him or meet him, he always make me laugh. I just love listening to Papa Nana. I know him for a better part of 40 years. Anyhow, what I call about this morning is a subject that seemed to everybody forgot about it. One young man named Jaden Smith.
No, we're not forget about it. Even yesterday, it came up and we're saying that we're not hearing anything. We haven't gotten any further information. We have been checking day after day to see if there are any updates whatsoever. It puzzles the mind. It befuddles the mind, really. And we've been making checks. George said it yesterday on air, yesterday morning. But no update. No update.
You people did have the gentleman and the lady who was responsible for him. I don't remember what the relationship was. You people have contact for those people?
Honestly, I'm not the person to answer that question. I'd have to make checks.
I would like to hear from those people. Somebody needs to call them and ask them, has they found the young man?
Well, I imagine if they found him, the authorities would have known, and we'd have.
And I remember hearing teachers or whoever from the school he goes say that they saw him and he ran away.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sad to say, I never from day one believed those stories. Yes, I hear it, and something tells me something wrong. Maybe they are mistaking this young man for somebody else.
Well,
but after Hurricane Melissa, where can he be?
I don't know. But it befuddles the mind.
I believe the children at Rocket should be following up this case and giving us some bulletin on it.
Well, we'll continue to make our checks, and as soon as we get information.
All right, thank you, sir. I'm taking up some more of your time.
All right, take it easy, boss.
Okay, yeah.
All right, have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Who's next? Who next? Anyways, yeah, that one puzzles the mind.
Yeah, it's really one for the books. It's been a few months now. Quite a few months now, and there's been no word as to what happened to Jaden. I understand we have Anthony on the line again. Anthony?
Yes, man. I hope you guys hearing me better now.
Much better, clear and crystal.
All right, nice. So, Chevron and Saeed, I am not the person who is quick to criticize people, but man, that interview with the gentleman from OUR this morning was a disaster. And sorry to say, but I have to call it as it is. If those are the people that we have sitting down with JPS, negotiating and are trying to get things in place for persons who are suffering, then we are in trouble. And why do I say that? I mean, imagine you guys are asking him about what policy can be in place, or what policy is being put in place to deal with JPS not willy-nilly send people bills and all of that. And he's saying that, you need to go and talk to JPS on a one-on-one basis. And then to add to that, then he's going to divert and say, the greatest thing you can get is to get back some light and whatever and all of those things. I mean, brother, I felt so hurt listening to the man. It was hard, Chevron, and I would recommend that intervention that Mrs. Elizabeth Marsh made in terms of sending that information. I would say if you could read that again for the listeners, because I think that's the best thing come out of the OUR this morning. Not what the doctor who didn't even know who he's talking to and hear and stuff came on and said it. I mean, come on, man. For somebody who is a deputy, what is it? Deputy director?
Yes, deputy director general.
No, yeah. I mean, at least have your brief properly, man. At least know who you're going and here to talk to and stuff. It's Damien, and all of those crap, brother. I mean, it was a disaster, and I had to call it out as it is this morning.
I hear you, Anthony. Just remember that everyone...
I don't expect you guys to say anything. Please, don't say anything. Leave that to us, to me and the YouTubers. Leave that to me and the YouTubers.
All right, Anthony, I hear you.
You're most kind this morning, Anthony. You're most kind.
Yeah, man. Respect.
All right. But that's a good point, For those who want that reassurance again from JPS, let me just quickly read this. As I said, this is from JPS. So if you have concerns in terms of your billing, the JPS has committed to, until December 15, there will be no service disconnections. All late fees will be waived for the period, and that's up to December 15 this year. And they can call them to make payment arrangements and deferrals of payments as a result of the trouble caused by Hurricane Melissa. So the JPS again is committed to providing no service disconnections until December 15, waiving all late fees for that exact same period, and arrangements can be made for payments and deferrals with their staff. So for those seeking some relief heading into Christmas from JPS as a result of Hurricane Melissa, as I said, you can get that relief from JPS. They will say no disconnections up until December 15. All late fees will be waived for that period, and contact them to get some payment support. So that is coming from JPS, and that was courtesy of Elizabeth Bennett Marsh over at the Office of Utilities Regulations. Clearly, she was listening to the program and she gave that intervention.
Thank you so much, Damien. Chevon. Good morning, Joel.
Hi, morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm good.
I'm going to be very, very brief. Leading up to the September 3rd general election, the Jamaica Labour Party, we were battered by the PNP for a lot of allegations about corruption and mismanagement of the economy, which were fake news. After Hurricane Melissa, the PNP established a GoFundMe which demonstrated that they wanted to be a parallel government. They have raised millions of dollars. Can we, through Nationwide, Jamaica's most credible media entity, ask the PNP to declare, one, for what reason those money were raised, because it was actually raised under the name of hurricane victim. Two, to open those bank accounts of which those monies were deposited. And three, to indicate to the country as to how those monies are going to be spent. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I believe this was raised yesterday, and I did give the commitment at the next potential PNP media briefing that I would put the question to them, because I think it's a reasonable ask of the Jamaican people that when we're talking about matters of accountability on both sides, government and opposition, that the People's National Party should be made to give an account as to the funding they've raised in the Hurricane Melissa relief effort and how that funding has been utilized. I think that is a reasonable request in terms of good governance, and I intend to put that question, or if another Nationwide reporter attends that press briefing, they will put that question to the People's National Party's executive.
A fair question. Yeah, fair question. Any other callers? Good morning, Damien. Is this actual Damien? Oh, okay. Good morning, Damien.
Good morning.
This is a real Damien, not the Chevron Damien. Morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Yeah, man, give it back. The estimated impact on Jamaica's GDP as a result of militia is around 41%, right? That's a number I heard the Minister of Finance referring to a presentation.
It's not the impact, it's in terms of the loss, expected.
Negative.
It's on the impact, I don't think you're going to expect to see 41% of GDP just wiped out. I think what she's saying the estimated damage comes up to about, in terms of the cost, is about that amount.
Right,
yes.
in terms of how much of the GDP, if you're doing an estimate.
Yes.
Right. You know, the last time Jamaica had a situation that was similar in nature in terms of the overall estimated impact to our GDP, what was that?
In terms of the impact to the assessment, I don't think we've had anything close to Hurricane Melissa. I don't think COVID-19 came close to this.
Can I tell you that the FinSAC situation?
FinSAC. That might... I don't even know if FinSAC would come closer though, because let's see.
No man, FinSAC as an event. If you treat FinSAC as an event, Jamaica's GDP, 40% of that GDP was added to the public debt through FinSAC bonds.
Yes.
And Jamaica took over 30 years to get back to pre-FinSAC levels in terms of our actual economy. It was not until about 2019 that we were able to reduce the debt to GDP ratio back to pre-FinSAC levels.
Yes.
Right? Melissa is a hurricane
a disaster. Nobody, no, that's not a policy-related issue. It has nothing to do with government failing to do what the government needs to do. This is a natural disaster. FinSAC was a policy issue.
It was a failure of policy, yes.
And if a policy failure could have caused us 30 years to recover from, and I hear some person saying, oh, we're going to go back into debt because we have to borrow to fix the issues related to Melissa. That's a red herring here, as far as I'm concerned. Because in any situation where a country faces a natural disaster of this magnitude, they would have to borrow.
If you recall, the purpose of the Bretton Woods Agreement was to allow Europe to recover after World War II, and that resulted in debt all around for many of those nations. I mean, it's just an expectation that following a disaster of such magnitude that there will be an incurrence of some level of debt. It's almost unavoidable. Nobody's going to sit down and give you $8 billion.
So, any discussion that starts with the international community is being really unfair and it's injustice. Any discussion that starts there when it comes on to a natural disaster and trying to recover is a discussion that starts at the wrong place. We didn't cause this on ourselves. And so the government trying to get help to fix the problem, the conversation should be, let us now work at making sure that the resources that we have is spent in the best way so that we can expand the economy. And as the economy expands, as we rebuild, we can pay off our debt, bring it back down to pre-Melissa levels as quickly as possible.
Yes.
This kind of discussion about why we shouldn't celebrate getting aid or getting loans is a red herring. And it is trying to create a different conversation where the focus of the conversation should be a positive approach to rebuilding our country.
I hear you. But there is a point to be made that we do need to manage how we spend that package or utilize that packaging assistance, ensure that we can, as the Prime Minister put it, build back better. And I think the devil in terms of what we should scrutinize is the details of these loan agreements in terms of the payment period and the interest rates. I think that is something that we can look at because we want those to be as favorable as possible. But I mean, if it's coming from the IDB and the World Bank and the other multilaterals, their terms are usually very reasonable. So I don't expect anything untoward in terms of that.
No, you're 100% correct. If you go on the international market, you'll not get concessionary and preferential rates. But if you go to the IFIs, the institutions like the IDB and like the World Bank, you will get these concessionary rates. And one of the reasons why Jamaica is able to get this kind of package is because of our fiscal framework and the responsibility of successive administrations in managing our debt. So we should be celebrating not borrowing, but we should be celebrating the fact that as a country, a small island developing state, we are now in a position to go on the international market, not begging, but negotiating to rebuild our country and being in a position to secure concessionary rates in a way that allows us to create greater spending so that we can do more in our economy in the next 2 to 3 years.
I hear you.
The foolishness, man, but don't celebrate and we're plunging ourselves into debt and we have to borrow. We went through 30 years of borrowing to fix FinSAC, and that was not a natural disaster.
I hear you.
A quality failure.
And just to add to that, caller, I think one of the greatest criticisms leveled at multilaterals like the IMF and the World Bank was their loans and terms usually come with conditionalities that are unfavorable to the country that they're giving that money to, keeping them in that debt trap, particularly when it's leveled at the IMF. And look at this very interesting instance where that package that is being provided, it does not come with such conditionalities. It is being provided on the basis of Jamaica's already established fiscal prudence and the expectation that the country will stay on that track. So, I mean, we really, I won't go as far as that we should celebrate it, but we should look at this as a triumph of what Jamaica has achieved in terms of we being able to negotiate something like this at this magnitude in such a short period of time with the multilaterals that, let's say, 20 years ago would scoff at even providing even half of this to the not even half, I wouldn't even say half. They would scoff at providing any assistance to Jamaica and just write it off as just a bad bet.
I know I have to go now, but you know what is critical? We already have the frameworks of accountability. We have a fiscal commission that never existed 10 years ago, right? The EPOC, Economic Oversight Committee is subsumed into the fiscal commission. So we still have that as a kind of quasi support to the government's framework for economic and fiscal prudence and responsibility. Framework exists for us to manage this process effectively. I would warn the government, be careful that you don't pander to all the demands of sometimes the opposition and sometimes people who pretend like they're a country within a country. Like the Maroons who are saying, don't send the military to help us rebuild, send the resources.
All right, Carl, I hear you, but I'm getting the wrap-up signal, and they want us to move to the birthday segment as required. So I hear you, Carl. I don't want to cut you off. I really don't like to cut off callers, but you understand how the program works. We have to pay our bills too, you know. So, all right, thank you for the call. All right, we take a break and come back with your birthdays.
Every road, every ride, Burt's Auto Parts and KYB have you covered. From October 24, 2025 to January 30, 2026, get 15% off when you purchase 2 or more KYB shocks at any Burt's location. Plus, enjoy 10% off installation at Burt's Service Center. And for a limited time, you also get a gift with every KYB shocks purchase. So whether it's pothole, corners, or smooth highways, ride in comfort and confidence with KYB shocks from Burt's Auto Parts. Conditions apply. It hurts if you don't check Burt's.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King.
Holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. Hata afa we say new cheesy jalapeno whopper make we talk in a gypsy. Well a pot, me I forget the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper. Whole heap of spicy jalapenos and creamy cheese sauce. Get the combo with fries and drinks for $1,350. Holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. It's the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper from Burger King.
Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. And man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible said, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing.
So there, Sharon Bless, we're going to close out with some Christmas carols as you asked. But happy birthday going out to Giselle McIntosh, who celebrated her sweet 16 year. Celebrates rather her sweet 16 today. This is coming from Jay, who says, I know you'll have lots of fun with friends and family tomorrow when it will be party time. Lots of love from Mrs. Brammer. Also, happy birthday to the boss of all bosses, that's Christopher Amos, and it's coming from your wife Tiffany with lots of love. So I understand there's a song that we're supposed to play for this one, Damian.
In the meantime, happy birthday.
Talk to me.
Yes.
Oh.
Talk to me. Looks like we're making up for lost time. Need you to spell it out for me. Bossa Nova on all night. It's like a type of alchemy. Introduce me to your best friend. I can come and stop right now. Satellite ain't even that far. I kinda wonder where you are. Already know I can leave it alone. You're on my mind. Already gave you the time and the place. So don't be shy. Just come be the man I need. Tell me you got something to give.
So there, that song Little Things from Ella Mai going out to Christopher Amos from his wife Tiffany. Over on YouTube we see Lawrenston Smith, who says happy birthday to Marlene Smith. Greetings coming from Carl, Mikey, Glenna and Lawrenston. Anetta Malcolm says happy birthday to my little grandson Azir Malcolm, celebrating his birthday 2 years. Happy birthday to you, Azir. Coming from Gatti MC, happy birthday to my friend Vanessa Campbell. I hope you have a great day and God continue to bless you richly. Annie Smith also says happy Earth Strong to artists Richie Stevens and Wayne Smith. Happy birthday both to you, gentlemen. That's coming from Annie Smith and the rest of us. Andrew Jackson also says happy birthday to my beautiful wife Evelyn Hall Jackson. So happy birthday to you, Evelyn Hall. And Rupert Wilson says happy birthday to my best friend Sarah Allen in Montego Bay. I wish you all you needed and more throughout your many years ahead. I see more birthday greetings coming here from Facebook. David Stephen Reed celebrating his birthday today, as well as Lisa Christine, O'Shea MJ Sims, Garfield Sutherland, Debbie Young, Hassette the King Mackenzie, Deja Campbell, and Marcia Marsha, all celebrating their birthdays today, December 5. I hope you all enjoy your days. I also see on YouTube coming from D. Tulloch, happy birthday to Lloyd Mordecai, celebrating his century-long birthday today, 100 years, longest living member of JPS and Partners Credit Union and pensioner of JPS, serving over 40 years from JPS pensioner. So happy birthday to you, Lloyd Mordecai, on your big 100.
I'd like to think you feel the same way.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King.
Holla me, holla yo, holla way. Follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. Hata afa we say new cheesy jalapeno whopper make we talk in a gypsy. Well apart, me I forget the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper. One heap of spicy jalapenos and creamy cheese sauce. Get the combo with fries and drinks for $1,350. Holla me, holla yo, holla way. Follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. It's the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper from Burger King.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Special thanks to our super producer Damian Scarlett, to Kimon in the newsroom, and of course to the man behind the controls today, the pilot this morning, Damian. the actual day we had. Good morning, and thank you so much for making our show possible. And of course, to you, our listeners, our viewers, it is not possible without you. And of course, we do this all over again next week, Monday morning. Until then, enjoy your weekend, stay safe, have a good Friday, and wish you a Merry Christmas. Yeah? I'm Said.
I'm Siobhan Campbell. Have a good morning.
You just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Feliz Navidad. Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Your taxes hold the key.
Motorists, do you know what to do if you lose your certificate of fitness? Well, here are the steps. Purchase and examine